Also, there are other things to bear in mind as we go along, and that is the possibility of adding daily to good karma. We make mistakes, and every day we add a little to the negative side. Therefore, it is good to make something unusually right and add in that way to the good side. Every good deed is a mysterious power to carry us further on the great growth problems of life. So we better do it if we possibly can. Now also there's the eternal uncertainty that affects us all, and that has to do with whether or not there is such a thing as evil. Paracelsus was not likely to affirm it. To him, evil was like a miracle. A miracle is simply a manifestation of universal law. Evil is a manifestation of universal law. There is no devil. The devil is not there at all. Devil is that which hurts when we do it wrong. Some little boys was talking one day, and one had come out of Sunday school. He said to the other, "Do you believe in the devil?" The other, who was 2 years older and therefore much more sophisticated, replied, "No, I don't. The devil is like Santa Claus. It's your father." Well, that's the way it is anyway. But there is no such a thing as a spirit of evil. Goethe tells us that when he introduces us to Mephisto, part of the power that still works for good while ever scheming ill. In other words, the temptation is something created to be resisted, but most people prefer to let it happen. And so we find all kinds of side lights from ancient religions and philosophies trying to dramatize the various phases, and reincarnation hitting different nations at different times in history, and all kinds of folklore and folk legendary takes on a variety of colorings, but an essential principle, it is always the same. It is that part of the great journey. In the mystery systems, the great journey was from here to there. And Plotinus, who was one of the greatest of the Neoplatonic mystics, pointed out that the great journey is of the lonely to that which is alone. And we are all moving towards something bigger. And in order to do that, we cannot carry all the ballast of our previous mistakes with us. We have to grow. And we're here to grow, and it can be a very pleasant thing. And if it isn't pleasant enough, I think you may well wait, because things are going to change a wee bit. Nature's plan is not going to change because we mess things up. The various situations we are getting ourselves into economically also has a karma. Our judgments have karma. Our banks have karmas. Our business organizations have them. Karmas are not limited entirely to living things. They are limited also to include policies, patterns, purposes, judgments, intentions, and everything which qualifies life. Anything through the action of which brings sorrow, pain, or suffering will have to pay for it. And a system that is corrupt will have to pay for it. This can nothing really win in the long analysis. Nothing can actually become the fullness of itself until step by step it returns to integrity. And this is the integrity we all must have. So reincarnation can apply to almost any situation that arises. Wherever there is intemperance, there is retribution. Wherever there is unfortunate policy, there is consequence. All the wars and dissensions and problems of today are karmic and are making more karma. They will have to keep on going through these cycles until we realize that we live in a universe which will never accept from us anything except integrity. Everything else will be penalized. And the longer we delay and the greater the mistakes, the more difficult the penalties will be. But no penalty will destroy us. No penalty can affect the individual who doesn't deserve it. And the penalty itself must be paid, but it will never cost the life. The individual will always win in the long run. But in some cases, we are beginning to realize that the run is too long. So we have to build new governments, new laws, new ways of life, nearer not only to our heart's desire, but nearer to the divine purpose. If we do these things wisely and lovingly, we will realize that rebirth is a great, wonderful possibility. It is the law that makes all things grow to the fulfillment of themselves. And it is also the absolute promise of absolute and ultimate immortality for everything, including the small bug in the sunbeam. It is all part of eternal life, eternally unfolding. And with those thoughts, I think we all can kind of fit into the idea of reincarnation, regardless of our other religious affiliations. Thank you.